Hello. Today we're going to be walking through the Understanding by Design template, stage number 1. In this stage, you'll be defining the big picture learning outcomes and goals for your learning unit. Let's get started. Prior to stage number 1, there is a stage 0 in which you give basic information on the course and unit for approval. As you can see, program information, course information, and unit information, as well as the big idea of the unit and your history teaching it. Then we move on to stage number 1, identify desired results. With stage number 1, you begin with identifying information about the course and unit, then describe it using simple words in order to clarify your purpose for your audience. Here we have the unit overview section. You can see that for this example, I'm doing an annotated bibliography assignment for a beginning college composition course. Next, it is important to tie your unit design to professional standards and competencies defined by an organization in your field. In my case, this is the National Council of Teachers of English. Identify appropriate standards that connect to your unit and indicate the codes and exact language here. So to the left we have the code, and here we have word for word the standards and competencies. As you move forward in the template, it is important to continue to tie all of your material back to these professional standards by indicating the official code number of the competency in the right-hand column in each section. This will ensure that your lesson is entirely unified and contributes to the goals your professional organization has decided are important for your learners to achieve. This section is transfer. It refers to the long-term independent outcomes your learners should achieve beyond the end of the unit. For example, how should they be able to apply their learning in the future to a job or other life circumstance? Here you can see that my first transfer goal is to recognize how people use appeals to logic, emotion, and authority to convince others to accept their worldview. This goes well beyond the limits of the individual course itself. The meaning section is divided into two components, essential questions and understandings. As the name indicates, essential questions should be framed as a question. These questions should pull together the big idea of the entire unit. They should be open-ended with no clear right or wrong answer and could perhaps be the subject of debate or controversy. For mine, you can see that my first essential question is, how do we know where to turn to for reliable information on issues that matter to us? Understanding should be framed as statements rather than questions. They should be big ideas that students can infer if they have absorbed the lesson, and they are more likely to have a specific perspective in mind than the essential questions. For example, here, my first understanding goal is, published sources have different levels of reliability, authority, and bias. Again, remember to keep indicating the corresponding competency codes. Lastly, you will complete the acquisition section. It is made up of knowledge and skills. Most instructors have instincts to begin with these acquisitions, but they should really follow from the bigger framing issues defined in earlier sections of stage number 1. Knowledge refers to short-term discrete facts students should acquire by the end of the unit. Skills are what students should be able to do. Even though they should come last, they are the beginning of learning, the building blocks. However, they should never be the end of learning. This has been a walkthrough tour of stage number 1 of the Understanding by Design template. Thanks for joining me.